It's a lot of work cutting all these mortises.
There's 8 in every leg.
I know, it's a lot of work. We're taking a look at the first Guild edition of Woodsmith magazine. It's number 217. And on the cover of this issue is our shop-built mortising machine. It's quite a machine.
Right, and I mean, it's something every shop could use, and the nice thing is it's built around a router motor. And it's a great way to do a lot of mortises accurately, quick and easy as well.
Well, so before we get into that, let's take a look at what we're looking at here. This is actually the cover of the issue that's online in the Woodsmith library. So I've got it here on my computer. And I'm going to back up here and we'll see, here's the Woodsmith library. So you go to woodsmithlibrary.com. The digital edition of the Guild edition of the magazine will automatically be added into the library every time it comes out. It gets added as soon as the print edition is put into the mail stream. So you get it here as fast as you possibly can, early access in effect, to this Guild edition, then each one is added on. Now all you have to do as a subscriber is go to the woodsmithlibrary.com and then verify your subscription, and from that point on, all the digital editions are unlimited access as long as you're a subscriber from the verification point forward. So we'll take a look at all these as we go along on these little inside looks into our Guild edition.
Why don't you go ahead and bring up that cover, that 217, and we'll take a look at it again.
There it is. Now, down at the bottom are little thumbnails. It's hard to see them, but they're little thumbnails of all the pages, every page that's in the magazine. I'm going to go over here to the right to this arrow and skip forward and then pop down here and go right into our mortising machine article. And I can use a little zoom tool and go right in pretty close.
Right, and that's one of the great things about the Guild edition. You can zoom in to really check out what you want. Yeah. It's a great way to look at the details, but honestly, the best way to get a feel for this mortising machine, head to the shop and give it a spin.
Okay, let's get in the shop and take a look at this thing. Okay, wow. Mortising machine, shop build. You can build this thing right in your own shop. Looks complicated, not that bad.
Really, and all you need is your router motor, mounts in this carriage here, and just some ordinary hardware and materials.
Now, we say ordinary materials, so it looks like it's all made out of metal, all this kind of greenish blue. This is all actually made out of Baltic birch plywood that's been painted with a hammered look to make it look like metal, but all of it, like here, is Baltic birch plywood.
Now the motor actually mounts to this Baltic birch carriage, I guess you could call it, and it just moves up and down to control the depth of cut.
And that depth of cut stops on this little stop that's on a threaded rod here, so as you're bringing it down, it automatically will stop right there. Now in addition to setting the depth of cut, you want to set the starting point and the ending point of your mortise, so that's controlled by the carriage sliding back and forth, and there's a stop back here on a threaded rod, and it'll slide across, and when it hits on this end, that's the starting point of your mortise.
Now each mortise also needs an end point, so at the opposite end here, the stopping point there is controlled by another stop that's attached to that same threaded rod. So when you slide the carriage over, stops in the same spot every time.
So very commonly used hardware, we said. Now the up and down motion of this here, that's all done on an ordinary drawer slide, ball bearing drawer slide, but it's sliding there, and the same then with the carriage down here. There are 2 ball bearing drawer slides. Get some of the sawdust off this, but pretty slick. It's just what you would buy in any hardware store. These are Accuride, but ball bearing and slides pretty slick for both the carriage and the table.
Now there's a couple other things, nice features on this shop-built machine. Besides the length and depth of the mortise, you can also control the thickness by adjusting the table here in and out. Now, of course, you need to lock it in place, so there's an adjustable clamp here on the top. And of course, a lot of times you're doing identical mortises, so to make sure each one's positioned identically, there's a stop block that's actually attached to the fence.
So all of this, all the features of really a professional mortising machine, but you can build it all in your own shop. So this is featured in the first Woodsmith Guild Edition, number 217. You can take a look at it. If you want to build one, the complete plans are in that issue, or if you just want to see how it's built, how you could build something that looks as complicated as it is, but it's actually pretty easy to build. So the key to this whole thing, though, is let's fire it up and make a mortise.
Okay.
Well, as you can see, this mortising machine, shop built, awesome project.
You know, router motor, some ordinary hardware. It's a great way to get started doing accurate mortises quickly and easily.
So of course you have to build the whole mortising machine, and you need the router motor, but you also need some bits to go with it. So in the same issue, let me jump to another article here. So we did an article on our best bits, our favorite bits for routing mortises.
Now, whether you're routing with a handheld router or in a machine, what you're probably familiar with is a typical spiral upcut bit. But we actually looked at some bits used for routing metal, some end mill bits. We were surprised how well they work in wood.
So we're taking a look at all the articles in, or most of the articles in, the Guild Edition, number 217 of Woodsmith magazine, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks to take another look inside. We'll see you then.